Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel on this beautiful day. I hope you all are doing well, and if you're not doing well, just stick in there. There's always ups and downs, and there's always a way out of a situation as long as you hold faith. Today I want to talk about why when other people choose to walk away or when they commit to misunderstanding you, why it's important just to allow them to walk away, and why chasing after them and trying to force them to understand can actually be counterproductive, not only to your own sense of self-respect and your own agency, but also it inhibits the other person from feeling that they can make their own choices and decisions in their own life. And so the first thing we want to consider when we allow someone to make a decision that we don't necessarily agree with, that feels painful to us, but we know that they need to see it through in order to come to their own conclusions, it's important to consider how allowing them to make this decision also conserves your own self-respect and prevents you from feeling shame because you're not lowering yourself to chasing after someone, and you're not forgetting or self-sacrificing yourself just to get someone to understand you. It allows you to stand in your own autonomy, in your own presence of being, in your own knowing of your own self-worth, and not subjecting your own purpose in life to chasing after someone just to make them see who you should naturally be seen as, in your own state of being, in your perfection and your completion, in the way that you are, and in the way that they are, and how we can always seek to understand each other better versus try to divide and try to repel each other. And often when we do try to find that common ground and we try to have that healing conversation, we can be met with resistance and with the other person pushing even harder away. And that's often just because they're not in a state where they're ready to receive or ready to integrate our type of mindset with the mindset that they currently hold. And so there needs to be a breaking away so that they can understand and comprehend their own mindset fully, and possibly have enough time to reflect on someone else's mindset fully. Forcing or trying to convince someone of your worth can often only incite them to push or repel away more towards their own individual freedom and further distance or misunderstanding, because they may feel that you are pressuring them, or that you are trying to control them, or trying to convince them of something that may not be true. And so it's important to give them that space, to let them feel what they need to feel, and come to understand what they need to understand. Allowing distance allows respect for their choice, as you would want if it were your own choice. Even if it's painful, even if it's difficult, you may think that they made it flippantly or without regard, but oftentimes these people make these decisions after a long time of considering and a long time of personal deliberation. So it's important to respect the choice that someone else makes and understand that they make it with their own knowledge and their own wisdom at hand, even if it doesn't align with what you would think is knowledge and wisdom that you would align with. Allowing distance also allows for both people to heal and to align with others if it is destined to be, or to heal and to align with themselves more so if it's destined to be. And they can either come back together later in the future more healed and more aligned with each other, Or they can realize that they were not supposed to remain together and that they needed to separate to become more healed and more aligned. And so you win either way, really, by allowing someone to move away and to continue to grow and to continue to focus on your own self-improvement and enhancement and alignment with who you truly are and what you truly want in your world. You will either gain that with someone else or with that same person down the road. And so again, you're not losing anything by allowing this. You're only gaining further clarity, even if there's so much pain and confusion and frustration along the way, because we hold on to these visions that we want with certain people, and it's confusing to understand or to try to comprehend why it would end when we only wanted success. But we have to understand that things happen for reasons beyond our current comprehension, and to flow with it versus to resist is where we begin to gain that clarity and that wisdom. And we never lose what was never ours to receive in the first place. And people may come temporarily into our lives to teach us things and to give us memories. And if they go before we're ready, then it's only because we don't understand the timeline that is destined for us yet. Allowing distance allows the other person also to realize your worth on their own accord, not by your pressure, not by you convincing them. It gives them a solid sense that they come to these conclusions of their own choice and of their own journey, the result of their necessary journey. And so if they do come back, you can choose whether you realign with them, both healed, or you can choose if it's better to move forward separately. But if they don't come back, then you realize they were always meant to stay away after that separation. They may have come into your life purposefully and necessarily to be with you in certain times, but when they move away and stay away, sometimes it is important just to allow this to happen and to allow what happens in your life in those times to unfold and give you different things to focus on, different pursuits, and different journeys, different side quests. Because, in all honesty, some people are dedicated to resistance or to defeat. Or maybe they are not at a stage in their life where they're able to comprehend a separate mindset. Or maybe they simply can't comprehend or don't want to comprehend where you were coming from and what you were trying to achieve and what your experience and your perception of events unfolding truly was. Maybe they don't want the accountability at this time in their life for truly partnering and compromising and collaborating with another individual if they don't feel stable. And that's a totally respectable position to hold. And it's important to allow people their space to develop themselves and to become whole in themselves and to feel more complete in their own journey. And so when you feel yourself having this pain and this confusion, wondering why something ended or why someone doesn't just see your way, maybe you have a lot of frustration wondering if I just spoke a certain way, if I said the right words, or if I spoke everything I needed to say eloquently enough, all in one way, then someone would finally understand. And it's important to understand that it's not our own words that are responsible for someone agreeing and choosing us. Sometimes people just need to go on a separate journey for a while. They need to see things their own way. They need to not feel like love is a pressure or that love is an obligation. And if it becomes that way to them, then by all means, their own personal journey must then be prioritized. But it's not anything against your own self-worth or their own self-worth. It is not anything lost. It is not any frustration or confusion warranted in these times, though it may feel that way. It is only paths that have converged and diverged in the natural flow of things. If they go away and they remember or recognize your worth and they come back, then maybe you can continue forward together. If they don't, maybe you can continue forward with someone else that is more aligned and sees you the way that you've always wanted to be seen and treats you the way you've always wanted to be treated. Either way you win, and either way they win, as long as you wish them happiness in their heart, no matter what, and alignment along their life path, no matter what. You cannot feel shame or regret in your parting, because everything is as it is supposed to be if you allow it to be, joining or staying away. I hope this message gives you guys some peace of mind through your journey. Pain and confusion and frustration are perfectly natural in these times. Anger and resentment are also natural, but they shouldn't stay in your heart. It's important to push forward. Find compassion for yourself and others. Take self-agency for your journey, and allow others the responsibility of their own journey and not yours. I hope you all find peace and joy in your day, and take note of the small blessings that occur. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, be kind to the creatures and the earth. Stay cozy, friends.